The world is becoming a more expensive place. It's estimated that global inflation rates are the highest they've been since the 1980s. And with more people moving to cities, the prices of those cities are high and getting higher. Every city has its flaws, and price is one of them. While opportunity draws people to these metropolises, prices may make them move away. These are the top 10 most expensive cities in the world. Number 10 is Seoul, South Korea. The capital city of the country with the 12th highest GDP in the world, Seoul is an important city for both South Korea and the world. Home to over 25 million people in the metro area, Seoul is the biggest city in South Korea and the biggest city on the Korean peninsula. Playing a big part in the technology industry, Seoul is home to huge global companies such as Samsung, the number one smartphone brand in the world with over 994 million global users. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Seoul is only around $425 a month. The average house price in Seoul is around $503,000. The consumer price index is around 108.7, higher than most places on this list, and is forecast to only continue rising. The inflation rate is also around 6.3%. The median household income in Seoul is only around $45,000 a year, which isn't as much as places like Switzerland or Shanghai, but is up 10.1% from the previous year. Seoul is a globally important city and will only continue to remain so. Number 9, Guangzhou, China. Located on the Pearl River and near Hong Kong, Guangzhou is a sprawling metropolis home to over 18.5 million people. China's most important port, this region plays a huge role for China internationally and is in the industrial heartland of China. Rent is much cheaper here than other Chinese cities, at only $300 to $1,300 for an apartment. And the price of buying a new house is also much cheaper than other cities, at around only $300,000. The consumer price index is also 102.9, 0.2 higher than the Chinese average, and the inflation rate is around 2%. However, the median salary is only $57,000 a year. Guangzhou remains a crucial city to China and will be seen as one for the foreseeable future. Number 8, Shanghai, China. Shanghai is truly a unique place. The most populated city in China, the Shanghai metro is home to roughly 28.5 million people, truly making it a megacity. A hub for Chinese fashion and art, Shanghai is the home of many international companies in China. Its mix of East and West has made it the most unique place in China. It also makes it the most expensive city in China outside of Hong Kong. Rent in Shanghai is anywhere between $500 and $1,500, relatively cheap when compared to other megacities. The average home price here, however, is quite expensive at over $1 million. The consumer price index in Shanghai is 102.9 like Guangzhou. Just like Guangzhou, the inflation rate is estimated to be around 2%. On the plus side, Shanghai families boast the highest average household income, excluding micronations, of around $128,000 a year. Located in eastern Switzerland, Zurich offers beautiful lakefront views with the Alps creating a stunning mountain backdrop. Hopefully you can find a nice home where you can take it all in, but it won't be cheap. Rent for a 4-room apartment within Zurich is over $3,000, while the average home price is nearly $3.2 million, 3 times higher than the Switzerland average. The consumer price index is around 104.5, with an estimated inflation rate around 2.8%. The median household income in Zurich is well higher than others on this list, at $119,000. Zurich offers more than other cities, and its Swiss location means it's located in one of the safest places in the world. Number 6, Tel Aviv, Israel. The second biggest city in Israel, Tel Aviv is also the nation's most expensive to live in. Situated on the Mediterranean coast, Tel Aviv is home to nearly 433,000 people. Its Mediterranean climate isn't the only thing that's warm, so are the prices. Average rent ranges from anywhere as low as $1,440 for a 2-room apartment up to $2,885 for a 5-room apartment. The average house price, however, is just over $1.1 million. Tel Aviv has a 106.7 consumer price index as of July 2022, a 0.85 increase over June 2022. This July, Tel Aviv hit a record inflation rate in 14 years, 5.2%. Unfortunately, the average gross household income in Tel Aviv is less than $7,000. Sure, you can find good Middle Eastern food there. Number 5, Tokyo, Japan. The largest city in the world by population, Tokyo is truly a mega city, and this, like many other big cities, hasn't spared it from price. The average rent in Tokyo is around $1,600 for a 2-bedroom apartment less than 1,000 square feet, or around 90 square meters. The average home price is around $320,500, which isn't as much as some other cities on this list. However, Japan and Tokyo are known for having a rather high cost of living. Tokyo has a consumer price index of 102.3 and an inflation rate of 2.4%. But Tokyo's amazing historic old Japan building style, modern way of living with advanced technology, and beautiful scenery makes up for its high cost of living. Number 4, London, England. Located in the country which at one point ruled 25% of the world's land, second largest city in Europe with a metro population of almost 9 million people, London boasts history and old architecture, like many other European cities that were at the center of power, like Rome. Unlike Rome, London takes the claim of the 4th most expensive city in the world. The average rent in London is around $2,250 a month, while the average buying price for a home is around $631,000. The consumer price index hit an all-time high of around 122.5 and an inflation rate of 10.10%. London's average household income is only $38,532. The sun may never have set on the British Empire, but unfortunately it does for some people's wallets. Luckily, London has its fair share of history, great restaurants, and architecture to share. Number 3, Geneva, Switzerland. The most important country for banking, Switzerland is nestled in the Alps in Central Europe. One of the safest and happiest countries in the world, Switzerland is a great place to be, although not for your wallet. The second largest city in Switzerland, Geneva is smaller than most places on this list, with a population of only around 184,000 people. This small size doesn't stop it from claiming number 3 on our most expensive cities in the world list, however. Home to the World Bank, the average rent in Geneva is hovering around $2,500 a month, which isn't too expensive, especially when compared to places like New York City. On the contrary, the average house price in Geneva is an insane $2.96 million. The consumer price index in Geneva for July 2022 is around 104.5, down 0.04 from June. The estimated inflation rate for Switzerland this year is 2.8%. And unlike some other cities on this list, Geneva boasts an average household income of $125,000. And with scenery like this, who's complaining? Number 2, New York City, New York. The city that never sleeps, the New York City Metro is home to almost 19 million people, 8 million people living in the city itself, and is arguably the most important city in the United States. The financial capital of the world, the New York Stock Exchange, is extremely important to the market. Sometimes called a land of opportunity, the Big Apple offers high-paying and in-demand jobs in finance and other industries. However, living in the most important and powerful city in the most important and powerful nation in the world comes with a hefty price tag, which puts it at number 2 on the list of the most expensive cities in the world. Be prepared to pay a lot for just housing in New York City. The median rent as of June 2022 is $5,000, up from $4,000 the year before. No wonder everyone has a roommate. And buying a home isn't cheap either. The average home value in New York City is a whopping $776,946. This is up 8.1% from the previous year and is forecasted to only continue rising. The cost of living in New York City is 87.2 higher than the US average. New York experienced an inflation rate of 5% in 2022. Unfortunately, incomes are not keeping up with the increasing prices, with the average household income around $67,000. The pizza is good though. Before we get to number 1, please like and subscribe to see more content like this. Number 1, Hong Kong. A financial hub and home to nearly 7.5 million people, Hong Kong is atop the list of the most expensive cities in the world. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment can be anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500 US. This isn't as much as other cities. However, the average house price is quite the opposite. The median house price in Hong Kong is around $1.25 million US. Hong Kong's cost of living is hovering around 103.2. The cost of living, also known as the Consumer Price Index, is the price of market goods that consumers buy, and a lower cost of living is better. The latest 103.2 is up from 102.9. In June 2022, Hong Kong's inflation rate was 1.8%, up 1.1% from June 2022. Hong Kong salaries also aren't enough to keep with the cost, with the average salary lying around $28,000 a year. And China's increasing crackdown in Hong Kong may only make this worse. The tropical paradise surrounding the city somewhat makes it worth it. Here we are, the 10 most expensive cities in the world. All of these cities have something unique to offer, and all are important business, economic, or financial hubs that play a huge role in keeping our world economy afloat. However, all of these cities have one thing in common: they're expensive. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and consider leaving a comment on what videos I should make next.